What's the word? What's the word, Steelers Nation? Couple weeks away from training camp starting. So obviously, we're starting to project, who we think is going to take that next year leap and things like that. But obviously, this is the time of year where we get to react to some of the different articles and, various people that are talking about certain players and what they're projecting those individuals to be able to do. So today, man, we're going to be reacting to an article that was on CBS.com, written by Tyler Sullivan, one of their writers and things like that. And basically, what I want us to do is just kind of react to, who he thinks the Pittsburgh Steelers, breakout player will be this upcoming season. Now, he prefaced this by talking about, guys that are taking that jump from year one to year two, right? So a year ago, for example, the person that he talked about was Jaylen Warren. We obviously saw what Jaylen Warren was able to accomplish in the sense of carving out more of a role as a runner and obviously, catching the football out the backfield. We saw him really take, great strides, and the expectations are even higher for this upcoming season because of that. So, spins the block, and, this go around, he points out Darnell Washington as his upcoming breakout player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, names a couple of things in terms of why he thinks Darnell Washington. First off, he says, the hire of Arthur Smith. We know what Arthur Smith likes to do in terms of utilizing tight ends, 12 and 13 personnel, ultimately going to give Darnell ample opportunity to be on that field. But then he also points out the size and athleticism that Darnell has. We obviously know 6'7", 265, can run in terms of straight line speed. So athletically, he does check off a ton of those boxes. And you feel like, he can give you a lot in terms of the blocking, at least by his profile. Now, we know in terms of the execution of it, we want it to be a little bit more consistent. But as a whole, you can see what he brings to the table. Now, he also talked about, in terms of the optimism of why he thinks he's going to be that breakout player. Talks about the profile, talks about Arthur Smith. He also referenced how Justin Fields spoke very highly of Darnell Washington's OTA performances when he referenced, similarities between him and Jimmy Graham. We all know what Jimmy Graham was in this league. And yeah, if Darnell Washington even scratches the heel of what Jimmy Graham was in this league, man, I think we'd all be happy. But for me specifically, man, when I'm thinking of Darnell Washington and him being that year two, taking that leap type of guy, he's definitely going to have ample opportunity. He is more than going to be, out there, and not just being out there, but have some possibly good matchups, because you obviously know what Pat Freiermuth in terms of the attention he is going to draw, especially with the new quarterbacks in terms of how they'll be able to utilize Pat. But on the flip side, Darnell is going to be getting that other linebacker, the other DN, or somebody else that's going to be having to, account for him. And that could definitely be a place where he thrives in the sense of, growing as a receiver. Now, in terms of his blocking element, I think that he has a lot of room where he can grow and continue to just be a better version of that, because his body type alone gives us every, reason to believe that he can not just be a dominant receiver of the football, but also could dominate in the trenches in terms of blocking. So I don't mind, him going with this guy. Now, are there other players offensively and defensively that we might have interest in the sense of, having that year two breakout? I think there's a couple people I could think of, but I'm digging the Darnell Washington selection, man. I'm digging it. So you guys let me know in the comment section, who do you think is going to have that year two leap, that breakout season, and kind of surprise us all, man? If it's Darnell Washington, man, salute him. Maybe I would like that, because his tape was hot coming out of Georgia, man. So we're going to need that to get back sizzling. But like I said, let me know in the comment section who you think is going to have that year two leap and be the breakout player. Is it Darnell Washington? Is it somebody on defense? Or maybe special teams? Who knows? But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture, and subscribe if you are new to the family. And as always, until next time, baby, peace.